I'm Colleen, and this is my good friend Kelly. And in a moment, I'll be guiding her and you through a mini sequence that is designed to unravel your hips, free up your spine, and invigorate the body with breath. I love this practice particularly to get my day going, so I often practice it right out of bed. But really, you could practice this at any point in time in your day for a full body reset. All right, so let's begin. So to begin, make sure you're in a comfortable seat, placing a block underneath your bottom. And if this doesn't feel comfortable for you, if there's any tugging on the knee or the low back, another alternative would be to come onto your shins and knees with your block underneath your seat. And then once you settle in, blink the eyes closed for a moment. Begin to direct your mind's attention into the rhythm and cadence of the breath. In other words, notice the fullness of the inhale and the depth of the exhale. And as you continue to breathe here, get ever more curious about the very top and bottom of the breath. There's a little pause. Linger there a moment. You might even get a little more curious, starting to feel all of the spaces in between. Notice the wave-like movement within the body that is created by the breath each time you breathe in and each time you breathe out again. Feeling the expanse of the belly, the widening of the ribs, and the breath to surface and crest to the center of the heart, as well as the wave of breath to retreat all the way out. Take a few more rounds of breath, breathing just like this, all the way full, all the way empty. Contemplating all that you aim to nourish, welcome in this time and in this practice. And if there's anything you can let go of, letting this serve as the foundation of all of your movement, your intention. Placing your intention into the breath so that every breath you breathe bathes you with all that you're calling in and all that you're nourishing within. Begin to blink the eyes open, taking on light. Interlace your fingers, flip your palms high up to the sky, sip a breath all the way to the heart, look to the sky. With your exhale, coil round, reach the palms forward. Move through that a couple more times. Inhale to arc through, sip the breath in. Exhale to coil round, draw low belly in. One more time, feel the fullness of the inhale, the depth of the exhale. Return the hands high up to the sky. Take a moment to pause here. Allow the right fingertips to trickle towards the earth and then teeter up and over to the right side. From there, push the earth away, rise like a reed in the wind, stretch up to the sky. And then exhale, teeter up and over to the left side. You gotta keep going. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, lean to the right. Inhale, rise back up through the center. And exhale to the left. One more time, get lost in the breath here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Coming all the way back up to center. One last time, stretch up, reach up. And then as you exhale, let the hands come all alongside your hips. From there, shift onto your seat. Remove the block, placing them to the front corners of the mat. And then release the feet onto the floor, a little wider than your hips, knees bent. Walk your hands back, spin the fingers back, roll the shoulders back as you lift up through the heart. Take a breath in. With your exhale, teeter the knees over to the right side, gaze over your left shoulder. Inhale back through to center. Exhale to the left. Inhaling through center. Exhale to the right. Feel the breath flood to the heart. Feel it empty. One more time on either side. And this little movement of the thigh bones rotating in and around the hip socket helps to free up the hips. Pausing here to the left, begin to shift your way forward into neutral table. Land your shoulders on top of your hands, knees underneath your hips. Feel free to move organically throughout the spine here, so you might even barrel roll the spine, create a few figure eights. Just giving yourself some opportunity to really color outside the lines and to feel what is present so that you can tend to what needs nourishing. Another breath or so as you even it all out, breaking free of any definition of shape here. And then coming back to neutral table, walk your hands a half palm print further forward. For added support to the neck and shoulders, you might even nudge them a little wider. From there, curl your toes under, send your hips high up to the sky, downward facing dog. Take the next several breaths to really massage your way into the edges of this shape, pedaling out the feet, swaying out through the hips. Eventually wiggling your way back to stillness. Leave a slight micro bend into the knees as well as the elbows. This keeps you from locking out into the joints and keeps the muscles engaged. Then a little zip of your hips towards your ribs will help to activate the lower abdomen, the core, supporting the spine 360 degrees. Pause here for one more cycle of breath. Drink this next inhale in. Feel the depth of the exhale empty. Bottom of the breath, pull the low belly in and up, look forward, walk the feet forward to the top of the mat, landing them about hip width apart. Slide your hands to your shins or thighs, lengthen the spine forward, lean forward. Then buckle the knees, drape your belly over your thighs, coming into ragdoll pose. Several options here. You can catch opposite elbows. You might love the sensation of the back of the hands trickling into the earth. The objective here is to keep a subtle bend into the knees so that the low back, the spine, is fully supported by the structure of the thighs, and to allow gravity to traction length through the spine. Stay here for one more breath, and as you inhale, feel the space between the shoulder blades widen, and then empty completely. Release the hands, draw the low belly in and up, then one vertebra at a time, roll all the way up into standing, stretching, sweeping hands high up to the sky. Pause here, ground down into the feet, re-zip hips to ribs. Catch hold of your left wrist, reach up and over to the right side. Stay for another breath and find a little more length as you breathe in, a little more depth as you breathe out. Inhale, rise back through the center, switch out the grip, exhale up and over to the left side. Again, breathe in, find length. Breathe out, find depth. Inhale, stretch up, reach up, look up, the heart will follow. Exhale, release your hands to the low back. A little bend into the knees, look up to the sky, squeeze the shoulders down, back and in. Exhale, bend the knees, drift forward once again into your ragdoll pose. Inhale, slide your hands to your shins or thighs, re-lengthen the spine. And then exhale, dig your hands into your blocks or to the mat, folding, deepening in. Stay for an extra breath or two and experiment with teetering a little more forward so your hips line up over the points of your ankles. Really good. And with each exhale, nudge the upper thigh bones back. Let the back of the head get long. the top of the head heavy. Next, inhale, reverse swan dive, reach, press, reach all the way back up to the sky. Then we'll move breath to movement. Exhale, catch your left wrist up and over to the right side. Inhale, rise back through to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, rise back through to center. Exhale, hands to the low back. Inhale, look up, breathe in. Exhale, buckle the knees, drip forward, ragdoll. Inhale to a half lift, re-lengthen the spine, lean forward. Exhale, fold forward to deepen in. One more time, inhale, rise, reverse swan dive, stretch, reach to the sky. Exhale, up and over to the right side. Inhale, back through to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, back through to center. Exhale, hands to the low back. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, pour forward, ragdoll. Inhale to a half rise, re-lengthen. Exhale, dive inside. Pausing here, a little change for you. Toe heel the feet a little bit closer together. The big toes may or may not touch, but do leave a sliver more space between the heels. Bend your knees, sit the hips low, coming to chair pose, reaching your arms to the upper corners of the room. Here you can rock forward and back a couple times till you find your center. Eventually fluttering all 10 toes up off the mat, re-zipping hips to ribs, activating the core so that the low back is active, but so is the front of the core. One more breath. Take a deep inhale and let the shoulders cascade down the back of the spine. Find a little more reach with this next breath in. Exhale to chair plane, sit a little bit lower, send your arms straight back. Pausing here, unlock the elbows and squeeze the shoulders onto your back. Good. Inhale back through to chair pose, stretch the fingertips high. Exhale, pulse back into chair plane. One last time, inhale, feel the breath flood into the center of your heart. Exhale, sweep the arms back. Pausing here, option to peel the heels right up off the mat, coming into drinking bird. This helps to challenge the balance, strengthen the ankles, and activate the lower legs. One more inhale. Exhale, release the heels, interlace your hands behind the low back. Straighten the legs, look to the sky, roll the shoulders down the back of the spine. With your hands bound, exhale, start to fold forward, little micro bend into the knees. Release the hands, take a half lift, lengthen the spine forward. From there, plant your hands onto the blocks or to the mat and take a giant step back with your left foot. Wiggling the left foot far back enough that your right knee is on top of the right ankle, shin perpendicular to the earth. Then lower your left knee all the way onto the mat. Climb both hands up onto your right thigh and then ease off the lunge ever so slightly. This is an opportunity for you to re-zip the hips to the ribs, aim your tailbone to the earth to support the low back and spine. Keeping the hips in place, start to lean forward, driving the left hip forward, right heel back. Get 2 more pulsations, ease off the lunge, you got it. Exhale to deepen right back in. One more time, feel the breath flood to the heart. Exhale, deepen back in. Pause here, leave your right hand in place, stretch and reach your left hand high. Exhale, teeter up and over to the right side. Keep the scissoring action, right heel drawing back, left hip forward. Next inhale, reach your hands high up to the sky, take a deep breath in. And then exhale, release your hands all the way to the earth. Curl your back toes under, step your left foot forward to the top of the mat, coming to a halfway rise. Exhale, lean forward and fold forward one last time. Bend back into the knees, come to chair pose, sit the hips low. Exhale, chair plane, sweep the arms back. One more time, inhale through to chair pose. Exhale, sweep the arms back. Just kidding. One more time, Kelly. You got it. Inhale back to chair pose. Exhale, sweep the arms back. Option to float the heels, coming to drinking bird. Exhale, interlace the hands. Inhale, straighten the legs, look to the sky, roll shoulders down, back in. Exhale, arms down, gently folding forward once again. Release the hands to the shins or to the mat. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, plant your hands, step the left foot back this time. And by left, I definitely mean right. Good. Now wiggle the right leg as far back as you can. Make sure, again, here, the left knee is on top of the left ankle, shin perpendicular to the earth. Lower the right knee to the earth. And if you need any additional cushion or padding, you can always use a little blanket roll or fold in the outer edge of the mat. Bring both of your hands up onto your left thigh. Good. Ease off the lunge, zip up the spine, and now exhale, deepen back in. 2 more times, ease off the lunge. Good, exhale, deepen back in. Last time here, feel the fullness of the inhale. Savor the depth of the exhale. Pausing here, left hand to the left thigh. Inhale, stretch and reach your right hand high. Exhale, teeter up and over to the left side. Feel a full breath flood on in, a full breath flood out. And from there, inhale, reach your hands high. Exhale, release your hands to the mat. Curl your back set of toes under stretch. Step your right foot forward, half lift. Exhale, fold and turn inside. Bending back into the knees, chair pose. A little change for you here. Settle back into the feet, float the toes, re-zip the spine. Turning to the right side, a vertical twist. Sweep the right arm straight back. You got it. Rotating open to the right side. If you take a moment and peek down at your knees, there are a window to your hips, keeping the pelvis level, rotating above the navel, higher through the spine. Inhale back through to chair pose. Exhale, vertical twist opening to the left side, left arm sweeping back, right hand forward. Again, zipping inner thighs, using the strength of the core to rotate the spine. Inhale back through to center chair pose. Exhale, forward fold, release your hands to the earth. Inhale to a half rise, lift and lengthen the spine. As you exhale, plant your hands, step the left foot once again to the back of the mat. This time, lower your left knee to the earth. Inhale, rise, reach your both hands high up to the sky. Pause here. Cactus your heart wide open, bending the elbows. Inhale, reach the hands all the way back up. Exhale, release hands to frame your right foot. From there, rock back to a half split, shifting your hips back in line with your left knee. Great option to reach for your blocks to extend the arms. Here you can wiggle and wriggle your right heel a smidgen further, but do keep a micro bend into the right knee. And then with each exhale, drag your rib cage down the length of the thigh. We're here for a good 3 more breaths. You can leave the count to me. Just give yourself permission to be free of any obligation of time and to grow more intimate with the breath and all that is present within. Last cycle of breath. Breathe in. Breathe out again. Begin to shift forward back till your knee is on top of the right ankle. Curl your back toes under, stretch the left leg straight. Pausing here, tent your left hand or slide a block underneath. Begin to twist, peel the right arm wide and high up to the sky. For a moment, peek down at your right knee and start it to wing open to the side. Press more through the right big toe mound to activate the inside of the right thigh, the midline. A little more energy to the back heel will turn on your left glute. Now take a deeper breath in. And exhale, release the right hand back to the mat. From there, step the left foot forward to meet the right, half rise. Exhale, fold and turn inside. Good, back here to chair pose. Sit the hips low, sweep your arms high to the sky. Exhale, vertical twist to the right side. Inhale, back through to center, chair pose. Exhale, vertical twist to the left. Inhale, flying back into chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, plant your hands, step the right foot to the back of the mat. Lower the right knee all the way to the earth. Scissor inner thighs. Inhale, reach your hands high up to the sky. One breath here, cactus the arms, crack your heart wide open. Inhale, stretch and reach back up to the sky. Exhale, release your hands to the earth. Option to reach for your blocks. Rock the hips back, coming into half split. Stacking your hips on top of your right knee, wiggling the left foot forward. Think of lengthening the spine as you breathe in. And exhale, drape the torso down the length of the thigh. 3, 4 more breaths. Again, let this serve as a little respite to further your awareness inward, to deepen into the body, breath, to anchor the mind. And to hear the echo of your intention right there in the breath. Last full inhale, full exhale. From there, begin to shift forward, stacking your left knee on top of the left ankle. Curl your back set of toes under, straighten the right leg. Either a block or tented hand under for the right, and then begin to twist. Peel the left hand wide and high up to the sky. Work the feet now. Push through the left big toe mound. Lift the right heel. You might even blink the eyes closed here and turn the heart a smidgen higher to the sky. One more inhale. Stretch all the way to the tips of the fingers. Exhale, release left hand to the mat. Sliding your blocks away. Step the right foot forward to the top of the mat. Half rise. Exhale, fold and turn inside. From there, root to rise, mountain pose, reach up, breathe in, pause here. As you exhale, gather your hands back through to your heart center. One cycle of breath. Notice how you feel. Has anything begun to shift or change? Blinking the eyes open, stretch, reach back up to the sky. Exhale, dive off the crest of your hips, folding forward. Inhale to a half lift, lengthen. Exhale, plant your hands, step both feet to the back of the mat. Eyes forward, shift forward, stack your shoulders a little forward from your wrists, close to your fingertips. Lower your knees to the earth. Before lowering all the way to the mat, draw the shoulders back, down and in, and then a little zip of hips to ribs. From there, bend the elbows slow as you can go, lower all the way to the earth. Once you arrive, extend the legs as far back as they'll reach. Point your toes, feet a good hip width apart or even wider. From there, as you inhale, let the heart naturally rise, lift the head last, a little cobra pose. Exhale to release back down. Take the hands left and right this time off the mat. Tent the hands and cricket the elbows to the sky. With your inhale breath, rise up through the heart. Let the head rise last. And then exhale, peek underneath your right arm. Catch a glimpse of your right toes. Here you can even let the right shoulder soften forward. Inhale your way back through to center. Exhale, same thing to the left. Inhale, rise back through to center, pause here. Exhale, release everything to the earth. Tuck your hands alongside your ribs, elbows to the sky. Preparing for upward facing dog. Inhale, lift the heart all the way up off the mat, roll the shoulders back and pause here. Feel the shoulders start to integrate onto the back body. Exhale, start to make your way back to down dog, either lifting hips skyward or pressing over the knees through table to down dog. Notice how this dog feels in comparison to the last. One more cycle of breath, encouraging the crown to get heavy. From there, inhale, reach that right leg high up to the sky. And then tuck your right knee behind the right wrist, coming into pigeon pose. Here, the right shin lands at an angle, right foot in front of the left hip, and sliding the left leg as far back as it will reach. Upright for a moment through the spine so that the weight can trickle deep into the seat, and then gently start to fold forward. If you feel any tug on the right knee, there's good information there. It means that something needs to change. A little push to the outer hip, maybe placing a pillow, a bolster, or even a block, can help to support the pelvis so that the rotation is isolated in the hip and not recruiting from the knee. Alternatively, you could come to a seated figure 4, or you could even choose figure 4 reclined onto your back. For these last couple breaths, encourage the jaw to soften and the tongue to fall away from the palate of the mouth. One more cycle of breath, unraveling tension from the outer hip to free up the low back and spine. And if there's any impingement around the sciatic nerve, this can be highly beneficial. With the strength of your hands, begin to press your way back up. Curl your back toes under, stretch and reach your right leg high up to the sky. Several options here. You can just stretch up in a 3-legged dog. You might open the hip or even trace thigh bone circles, almost like you're painting the room with your knee. And then eventually making your way back to down dog. Inhale, sweep and reach your left leg high, 3-legged dog. Exhale, tuck your left knee behind the left wrist, swinging your left foot in front of your right hip. Begin to settle in, extend the right leg back, level hips. A moment upright through the spine, sending the weight deep into your seat. Letting the exhale carry you forward, melting forward into support. Eventually letting the forehead rest either onto a block, onto your mat, or even into your hands. When the head can rest, the body can let go. One more cycle of breath. Feeling the breath rise to the center of the heart, spread across the back of your shoulder blades, and then empty it completely. Rising back up with the support of your hands, curl your right toes under, and send your left toes high up to the sky. An opportunity for a little exploration. You might love a fire hydrant, these circles of the thigh bone and the hip socket, almost like you were painting the wall with your knee. Eventually coming back to downward facing dog, lower knees to the earth, lower your seat to the earth, and swing your feet forward. From there, bring your knees, or take a little bend into the knees, feet flat onto the floor, reach your hands forward. Then one vertebra at a time, start to lower all the way onto the earth with strength through the core. Once you arrive, hug both knees deep into the chest. Give yourself a great big squeeze, a little decompression of the low back and spine. Then keeping knees bent, release the feet to the floor about hip width apart. Ensure that the feet are far forward enough that your ankles are underneath your knees. You may or may not be able to touch your heels, just depending on the relationship and ratio of your limbs to your torso. Ground down into the big toe mounds. This will turn on the inner thigh. A little zip of the spine, drawing the low belly in. On your next inhale, press into the feet. Lift the hips high up to the sky. Pause here. Let the breath empty. Reactivate the low belly towards the spine. Next, inhale, shimmy the shoulders a little closer together. Let them cradle the base of the heart. Option here to interlace the hands as you roll your chest towards your chin, but your chin away from the chest. Good. Keep the breath moving. One last inhale. And then exhale slowly to release. Let the tailbone arrive last. Take a couple breaths here. Let the floor neutralize the spine. And feel the after image of your heart opening. Taking the arms wide into a T or a cactus shape, whichever feels most supportive in your shoulders. Toe heel the feet a little bit wider and let the knees knock slightly inward. This creates an internal rotation, nice offset from the outer rotation of the hip in pigeon. It also serves to open the outer hip and a little stretch to the IT band. Keeping the feet wide, let both knees windshield wiper to the right side as you peek over your left shoulder. Option to stay here for a breath or two, exploring the release through the front of the left hip, left thigh. If you're looking for a little added sensation, you might even stack your right ankle to the outer left thigh, provided that doesn't tug on your left knee in any way. Inhale the legs back through the center, a little windshield wiper twist to the left. Staying here for another cycle of breath. Allowing the next inhale to draw the legs back through the center. Hug the knees and give yourself a great big squeeze. Option to draw the knees towards the underarms, or you might even flip the feet skyward, coming into happy baby. If that strains the neck and shoulders in any way, just let go of the feet, hang on to the ankles or maybe even the knees again. A little reset of the spine to ready you for Shavasana. When you're ready, extend the legs long. You might even drape the legs over a couple blocks for added support to decompress the low back and spine. Snuggle in. And then let the shoulders tuck underneath the heart, a little scoop of the hips to reset the spine. Then begin to let go, almost like you were falling through water or floating through the sky. And as you let go of the body, also let go of the mind, giving the intellect an opportunity to rest, to grow quiet, and to be present for all that is here, beyond definition of body or mind. Every breath, bathing you with your intention, all that you're calling in, and all that you're nourishing within. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase Om Shanti. Begin to reawaken the body with breath. Sipping a full breath in, start to stretch and reach your fingertips high up to the sky. From there, hug both of the knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a great big squeeze. Rock a little left and right, or even back and forth. And eventually make your way to seated. From seated, gather your hands through to your heart center or into prayer and bow slightly inward. Acknowledge the you that showed up on his or her mat today. And invite this practice off the mat into your days as you continue to live through your yoga. Thank you so much for being here. Namaste.